don't want to spend any time thinking about presentation software.
What I love about FreeShow is in many ways its ease of use.
Hey, I'm Jared Ellis from Fellowship Regional Church in Iola, Kansas.
My name is Paul Hugbart. I'm the lead pastor of Southside Christian Church in Fort Pierce, Florida.
In working with church apps, when FreeShow was brought onto the scene, it absolutely took over for us.
We're a church of roughly about 150 folks. I'm not super technologically advanced, but I'm able to put together displays that are visually engaging and look top-notch really every Sunday. Because of the versatility of FreeShow and really the strength of the program.
With FreeShow, we've been able to grab somebody, and because it's so incredibly user-friendly, we can teach them so quickly how to operate the program.
We had an issue with FreeShow that I was struggling to figure out.
So we sent an email, and immediately somebody.
And I was actually the creator of FreeShow directly.
I just need it to work. And that wasn't happening with the presentation software we were using before. So for us, yeah, FreeShow's incredible.
Would we continue using FreeShow if budget wasn't an issue? And yeah, absolutely we would.
If money was no object and it came down to whether or not we were going to use FreeShow or maybe try to use a more expensive program, there's no way in the world that we would go with something else.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Well, let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm in a whole different setup, playing around with some stuff, and word to the wise, do not change up everything before you go live, but that's exactly what I did. So I got stuff behind me here. I don't even know how to get to this screen. Let me see. Oh, let me see. All right, let me see where that screen is. Hold on, you guys. Can everybody hear me okay? Let me know in the chat. I think I could. There we go. All right. I think I can see you guys in the chat. I see that we got Jim Lawyer on from cold Ohio. How cold is it in Ohio? We got Mark on. Good morning, M. Smith. And good morning to all from Kalispell, Montana. Oh, I see Jim's message got retracted. Loud and clear. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well. I've been doing some recording in my space and rearranged some studio stuff. So this is a temporary setup because I'm doing some other things. But yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys. Hopefully you guys can hear me good. It looks like it's working out fine. Let's see here. We got let's see here. WWJ. Oh wait, we got Brian from Michigan. Welcome, my friend. We got WWJK 102.9 FM in the house. Where is that at? That sounds cool. I got to see. Let me see if I can click on that. Let me see if I can go to that channel. This is nonprofit community gospel radio station dedicated to uplifting and inspiring music. All right. WWJK 102. Where you guys based? Where's this at? Where you at? I'm giving like a real shout out here. So big shout out to you guys. I love that. Let me see what else we got. We got Brian, we got WWJK, we got Mark, we got Jim. Awesome. -10 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's cold, my man. Here in Georgia, it's not anywhere near that. It's probably closer to maybe 35, maybe right now. Look, let me give you the real time. 42. It's 42. This morning when I went out, it was like 24 or something like that. But 42 degrees. Not bad. Not bad at all. So tell me how you guys' week has been. I'm gonna rearrange these screens real quick to make sure you guys can see everything we need. So that's the LG. That's good. I'm gonna put this one over here. All right. Now, I just found out there was a new free show update, and I'm late. I know I'm late. I've been so busy this week. You guys has been crazy. It's been a crazy, crazy week in terms of just how active things have been. I don't know if you guys got to check it out, but I was on Conversations with Tony Mobley on Wednesday night. If you have not got to check it out, make sure to check that out. Let me see if I can even pull it up here. If I go to my post, I don't even know how. I haven't looked at my channel in a while. Like I said, I've not been able to keep up with everything going on. So I'm looking to see. I've been able to reply to most messages. I haven't got a lot of questions online, which is cool. But when they do come in, I like to make sure I can address those. Let me see here. Let me check my post. We got Conversations with Tony Mobley. Let me pull this up for you guys to see. All right. So this was there. I'm trying to get a share link for you guys to check it out later on. But this was a lot of fun. It's always fun to connect with Mr. Tony Mobley. Sometimes he jumps on. I know he said he's going to be in a meeting this week or today, working on some other things. So let's see here. Tony, just a big shout out, my man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. When you do get to jump in and join us, let me see. Let me try to share my screen real quick. Full share. And then here's the crazy part. Oh, the crazy part is the my computer just kind of flaked out. Let me see. Restart capture. Okay. So here is me and Tony. Let me switch this around. My circle mask. So my um all right, here we go. My companion, I didn't have time to figure out what's going on with that, but it flaked out. But this is my conversation with Tony Mobley before we got started. We had a good conversation. We always do. But he was asking a lot of questions about free show, and we had a good time. But this is where you would end up with, he put on there a free show evangelist, Gary B. Jr. Shared some methods for virtual worship. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's always good. Like I said, we got Bobby Manning 264. Good morning from Arkansas. I know it's Arkansas. I know I'm calling it Arkansas just because that's how it looks, but Arkansas. I actually grew up right north of you guys in Kansas City, Missouri. So I was in the state right above Arkansas. So I'm not very familiar with Arkansas, but I'm somewhat. I know exactly where it is. Let's see here. So okay, the WWJK 102 is in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Okay, a work in progress. I love it. I love it. Well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. Well, continue to work. That's a good thing. My nose is itching here, but I'm excited to be here with you guys. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm thinking about going into like we typically do with some of the things that have been going on my channel, and then what are some of the updates with Free Show. Like I said, I think what's happened has been some updates for um, the syncing. Like I said, 157, I believe is what it is. But I'll double check. Like I said, that's usually how it happens. If it's a real quick update that doesn't have a beta, it's usually going to be an update to whatever the last one was. But in the meantime, let me pull up the latest comments that we may have received. All right. Good morning, Mountain View Church of God. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Sabusi Soul, my friend, welcome from South Africa. Welcome to you. You're joining us from South Africa. I appreciate that. So you guys can see my screen here. Like I said, I'm going companion free today. I don't have my buttons that I can switch through real quick. So bear with me as it may take me a little while longer to navigate between different scenes and so forth, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Let's see here. We had an issue. This I want to. Are you sure the audio is from the video feed? So this is a question about the live streaming audio. It's kind of what we talked about on Free Show Friday last week. Someone said I tried this and it worked for audio only, but I'm not able to receive audio signal when playing video from media online YouTube. Please advise. And I'm using a MacBook. And that's interesting because if we go into Free Show, let me see what my media looks like. If I go online, I got this video here. So I'm gonna select this video. Let's see what happens with it if audio comes through. All right. What's going on, everybody? Gary B. Jr. Today we're going to the lab. So we're gonna learn how to make something like what you see right there. And I got the video playing, and my audio is coming. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna go to primary. Let's see what it looks like in my primary. Someone asked about how to add motion graphic, and my first thought was to try to make one in DaVinci and maybe make one in Canva. And you can. I do see. Yeah, that is a problem. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I'm going to stop this video from playing. Really like it. Like I said, I really like the way this looks down here. There we go. All right. And so, that is interesting. I do see what they're saying that they're trying to stream. So when I was in um OBS, I was looking at OBS and I was playing a YouTube video. The audio was not feeding through as I would expect. So let's go to our settings real quick. I'm just double checking my outputs, and I've just got one output active. You can tell by that little check mark. Let me make sure to share my screen. All right. And so I've got one output active down here, just the one. Let's see here. We got a question from Jim. And also we got Gwirlin MJ 8530. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome from New York. All right, New York in the house. I see you. We're talking about a question that came up on the in the community, on the YouTube community. And I've got my NDI enabled. All right. And we're checking to see how come audio is not coming through on the YouTube video. And I've got my audio on. I've got the frames per second at 30. That shouldn't have a major impact on anything, but that's something you can definitely adjust and dictate in this program, which is cool. And it gives you quite a few options here. The main primary ones are going to probably be the 60 frames, the 30, and the 24. But internationally, you might be seeing a lot of 50, 25. And then cinematically, you might see 48 or 24 quite a bit as well. All right. Now, why is the audio not coming through? It's something I am not able to answer right away. So I'm looking at this now. Is anybody else run into this issue where they try to play a YouTube video from their online library? So I've got my online library here, and I'm playing this video that is motion graphics for logos in FreeShow. And when I play it, I don't have any audio coming through except me. So my microphone is coming in, and let me see something. So I can see it in my top screen, but let's see. Let me pause it real quick. I'm going to, oh, I think I got it. Let me see something. Let me turn that on. FreeShow primary. Let's see what we got here. I'm just checking my settings here real quick. Let's say okay. And so I activated FreeShow primary in this. Well, no, that's not even in this view. Let's see. Let's do turn off studio mode. And I'm just checking to see something. So I got FreeShow Live. If I do FreeShow primary and I activate that, you guys can see that down in the corner. That's just a mirror of what's going on the big screen here. So you can see that this is my preview window for FreeShow. And then down here, this is a separate feed from OBS. Okay. And I'm just trying to identify what is going on with that. So if I pull that up for you guys to see, I'm trying to see if I can. So I got my FreeShow primary. Now if I play it, let's see what happens. So my FreeShow primary audio is not coming through. I can't explain that. It should come through. when I'm playing it, you guys should be able to hear that video. And the only thing you can hear right now, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, you're only hearing it through the microphone that I have in front of me, coming from my speakers on my computer. And I'm looking at my levels in OBS, and I don't have any levels showing up there as well. So yeah, that is a problem. We have to submit a ticket for that to verify that particular issue. So let me go here and let's go to FreeShow. And when I like the way I submit tickets, I always just hit this little GitHub icon right next to downloads. So when I select that and I just go over to issues, there's probably an easy way to do that. All right, so you see a bunch of different options or different submitted tickets here. All I do is I'm gonna hit this new issue and we're gonna make this one be added to the list. I'll remove that for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna say bug report and let's say YouTube audio not playing over NDI. Now the thing is, let's test this out. So let's verify. Well, I basically already did because you guys were able to hear my my other content. So let's say if I started this show again. Well, that comes through on my top screen, but I don't have Free Show live, my live stream active. And so you guys can hear that there just a little bit, but that's coming through my top screen, which is fine. If I turn on my primary, let's see, let me turn that back on. Okay, and there's the audio for the primary. And so, oh, let me keep me unmuted, but here's what it sounds like coming through Free Show Primary right now. That's playing through Free Show Primary. You guys can hear that loud and clear, right? Now, if I stop that and I play a YouTube video, let me stop the music. So I stop the music and the video doesn't play any audio. Interesting. Okay, so it's just specific to YouTube. All right, let's go back here. All right, so you guys get to see how I do some testing. So basically, we were able to test this out live. So it's literally just the YouTube videos that are not streaming through. So in this ticket, I can make that clear. YouTube, I'll spell it out because that might be hard to understand. So YouTube audio not playing over NDI. All right, let's see here. Describe the bug. Through NDI on Free Show does not. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Does not have audio. I'll just say does not have sound. But regular media does. I'll say regular videos do. All right. Reproducing is add a YouTube video to your, I'll say online media. And then, so I like to put everything in steps to simplify it. Add it to there. And then 2 is turn on in NDI for your output. And then 3, activate audio for NDI. And then the is there a step forward? Then we'll just say play YouTube video. And I'll say picture comes through, but no audio. All right. I'm not gonna put any screenshots in. I'll probably reference this, but I'm testing this out on a Mac. If you have other devices, you would put in whatever ones you tested it on. And I'm on 156. And then you can do a preview, which is pretty cool. So you can see exactly what you got. And there we go. So I'll say create. Yeah, because that's a big issue. Let's see here. All right, so let's go back up to some questions real quick. Let's see. Let's see here. We have some questions. Okay, Jim says, question, trying to use video countdown. Got you. On the stage monitor. Always shows 0. And then audio countdown works. Hmm. Okay. I haven't tested this out in a while, but I have used it on previous versions. Let's see what we're talking about here. So for the stage view, let's recreate what Jim is asking about here. First, I got to activate my stage view. So I'm going to select that and we'll select enabled. And I'm going to make it be an invisible window for the sake of this conversation. Actually, I don't need to do that. I'll put it on my screen by me right here, but I'll make this one be an invisible window because it does not. That's my primary. But my stage, I'll make it be, um, I got so many screens. This is hilarious. I'll make it go there. Okay. So my stage is right here behind me. All right, cool. And so the question is, how do we get this to show the countdown for a video? So I go back to my show. Let's see here. I like this video here. So we'll play this video. But before we do that, I got to go to my stage layouts. So I'm gonna go to my stage layouts and I've got current slide text, next slide text. I'm going to add in a video countdown. And here's what he's talking about. Next to the text box, you guys, we can add in some dynamic values, which are really cool. All right. These are all unbelievable dynamic values. But this video countdown one, I can select that and boom, it shows here. And I'll make it be nice and big. And let me see how much of this you guys will be able to see. Let's see. I'll pull it to the other side. So this, I got a bunch of timers down at the bottom, which is hilarious. I'm gonna get rid of these for now and pull this over here so you guys will be able to see it. Well, no, I think over here is where you'll see it the best. So I'll keep it right there because I'm gonna show you guys on my screen here in-house. All right, and we'll pull it over just a bit. All right, so we got video countdown here. And let's do different color. I like to change my colors and stuff here. So it's white. I want to make it stand out. So we'll make it be green. And if I go back to my show and I play this, you'll see it going. Well, it should be going there. Let's see. That's my YouTube video. It's not playing a respond to that. Let me see if it'll do anything for a Bible project video. Let's see here. Yep. And so you see it going there. It actually shows the countdown. And so you got to make sure you're playing a video. That would be the main thing, Jim. So I'm gonna pause this real quick. And so what you want to make sure of is that you are playing a video. YouTube videos, for whatever reason, it didn't show up, or it kind of showed the time, but it didn't like catch itself up. So let me play. I'm gonna try to play a YouTube video real quick. I'm gonna go back to online and go back to that, and let's see what it does. Yeah. So it went okay. It went to 0. Okay, it's counting down on that too. Kinda. It just kind of froze. It's showing just it froze. At first it went to 0, then it went to 12 something, and then it just stopped. And that's the YouTube video though. If I pause it, will it catch itself back up? Nope. Okay. Um, what kind of videos are you playing, Jim? That's the question I would want to know. What kind of videos are you playing on your setup? Are you playing YouTube videos or are you playing videos that are on your computer? Because I've never had a problem with it. And I'm using 156. Now, if you upgrade it and got the 157, let me make sure of that. Let me verify here. I am using, yeah, I'm using 156. Okay, so verify which version you're using and make sure you're actually playing a video. It's not much else you have to do with that. Video is my media. Yeah, MP4. That should be fine. Did you test multiple videos, like different types of different versions or whatever, or different other videos, and see if it does it? Because for me, it doesn't seem to be a problem. And I'm trying to think about what else might I have done that you didn't consider. Let me double check here. So I went to video countdown, You got the video duration, you got timers. That video countdown is really powerful to me, as far as I'm concerned. I think you're on the right track to pick that one. And then let me go back. It's saying only I played 2 seconds of that video. I guess I did. Okay. So this is just weird to me that it's not updating. Let's see. So if I hit play, that should start going, but it's not. Interesting. Okay. But try, I would say just reset free show, but I'm sure you may have tried that. But try that out. See if you can just reset free show and see if that fixes it, because that should not do that. Let's see here. Gorlium NJ has a question. Oh, you're on 157. Oh, but it didn't work on 156 for you either. Okay, for me either. Tested other media on my system on Windows. Oh boy, you're doing the Windows job. And I'm on a little bitty desk right now. Let me see. Where's my? I got a Windows computer. Hold on. Let me step away and see if I can grab it real quick. All right. See, I tested my skills now. Let's do here. All right. So I got my Windows computer in my hand, but I'm gonna have to keep it on my lap for now. We're gonna try this out. Sorry if that was loud. All right. So let's see here. You all should be able to hear me pretty good. I got a spinning desk, which is hilarious. You guys see my monitor? I can spin my monitor. This is hilarious. All right, let's test out what Jim was talking about here and put it on a Windows computer. And I got to figure out how to uninstall stuff on a Windows computer, because this is getting on my nerves. It's asking me to uninstall some kind of something. McAfee? I think I can right click on it. Uninstall. Okay. Change. Yes. All right. Now I'm opening up FreeShow. All right, that's uninstalling. All right, so I'm gonna try this on a Windows computer to see. And I'm trying to think if I've ever tested it before. I've used other Apple computers with it, but I can't say I've ever tested it on a Windows computer. And I'm looking at the bottom of this to see if I could. I don't think I could put this on top of my Apple because of the bottom of it. But let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. All right, so let's do screens. Now the challenge is, do I have any videos? I don't think I have any videos in here. Oh, I do. I do. I got some test videos, I think. Let me see what this says. Okay. Yeah, I got a video to test out. Perfect. Now I just I need to put it into I need to get my stage view on. Oh, let me put my share my screen with you guys. So I'm gonna do screens. Sorry, this is so bootleg for those. This is your first time joining. I'm usually a little bit more organized. I'm usually at my desk over here, but I've got like cameras everywhere. I was doing a shoot for another project, and I'm not finished with that shoot. So I had to make shift and do this. So this is another set that I've been working with and doing some things with, which is fine, but it doesn't work good for Free Show Friday because Free Show Friday is pretty in depth. All right, let's do screen. I want to do NDI. And let me turn on my NDI on this one here. Okay, free show. That's good. I'm gonna make a stage output real quick on my Windows computer. And let's see what else we got here. Question: we use ProPresenter at my church. Oh wait, let me make sure Jim Lawyer. So trying to use video camera. Okay, we got that one. This is Gorlim, and okay, we use ProPresenter at my church and output to a main screen and stage screen, both using a deck link duo. How can I do how to use the deck link duo to output my presentations using FreeShow? Well, my friend, that's a very, very, very good question. Uh, the issue that you're going to run into is right now, Decklink Duos are not supported by FreeShow, but I have talked with some other folks who are using FreeShow that have partnered with FreeShow, and they use a program called A Play Pro, and that's through another company that actually uses FreeShow as their base for a program, and they rebranded it and actually integrated their curriculum with it. Okay, and with A Play Pro, there's unique curriculum and content that they use, and so I've walked two partners through how to do that, and it's with a company called Amazing Life. And so I walked them through how to get the content to play through A Play Pro, which is free show, and get that to play through ProPresenter with a deck link using NDI. Now, for you, if you're trying to just replace ProPresenter and you want to keep your deck links in place, I don't know. There's not a way yet. What I have heard is that the free show development team is working with deck links, testing. They're testing those out now, and so in the next couple of months, we should see some major updates with that, to where we can find some way to support that. But right now, the deck link support with just straight free show and no pro presenter does not work. However, you can run free show through ProPresenter using NDI all on the same device really pretty seamlessly, and just make it a video input, and then add that input onto a slide and use it that way. But there's really no benefit to that unless you've got that special curriculum through A Play Pro or something like that. Or if there's something that only plays through free show that you can't play through ProPresenter, I can see a benefit in that way. But right now, Decklink support is not currently available, but it is being worked on. It will be available sooner than I can imagine. Um, so hopefully that answers your question. Video is my media. Okay, Jim says, okay, I'm 157. Okay, reset free show. Oh, it is showing now. All right, that's good. Are you in Studio B right now? That's a good way to put it, B. I would say, Brian, this is probably Studio A. Studio B would be my desk. Like that's like it's not even a studio, I would say. That's probably just the workstation. So um I'm glad you got that working, Jim. I'm not going to go through how to set that up because I did it on a on my Mac already, so I don't have to show you guys again. But on the Windows, it should work just like that. So I'm glad you figured that out. Let me put this computer back. I'm gonna put it on my studio workstation real quick. All right, and my space is a mess. You guys do not want to see this space. I can tell you that right now. And I'm trying not to tip anything over because I got a lot of stuff going on over here. All right, let me pull this back up just a smidge. Boom. All right. So yeah, you're trying to replace ProPresenter. Makes a lot of sense. I think this is a great solution to replace ProPresenter. If you've already got the DeckLink stuff support set up, um, give it a little while in terms of just, I would say within the next couple of months is what I've been told. That's just because the development has just started. Maybe it'll happen sooner than that. I can't speak to it just because I am not a developer or coder. So I'm trusting those guys to do everything they can to make it work. Um, he said that's the only thing he didn't try. I'm glad you tried it out, Jim. Yeah, it should work pretty good. It should work pretty good. And I love that video countdown feature is really cool, especially if you're doing like with youth ministry. That's what A Play Pro is all about. It's for youth ministers and youth pastors. Unbelievable, because if you have a very video rich presentation, then that's invaluable to a youth pastor. I don't even need to see the video on the stage. I just want to see the amount of time I have before the video's over. Same way for a speaker, like a pastor or anything like that, that's speaking and teaching in a pulpit, and you're playing a video, right? You want to see how much time you have left before that video's over. I don't necessarily care how long the video is. I don't really care. What were some of the other options that we had there? Excuse me. So in the text here, dynamic, we had video time. I don't care how long the video is, in terms of, it tells you what time the video's on, right? So it's telling you we're at 2 seconds in the video, 3 seconds in the video, for it, and it counts up. Doesn't really help me because I don't, it might be a 20-second video, it might be a 20-minute video. Video countdown, perfect. Video duration doesn't really help. It sets the stage to give you an idea, but you still want to see the countdown. So the countdown does basically everything that these two, the video time and video duration, do. The countdown does it all in one. So I prefer that personally. All right, let's see here. Eben Shrubin. Oh, Ebens Shrubin. Iman Shabrin says, Iman Shabrin 6251. I am butchering that name, my friend. Sorry about that. Any available way to present OBS output in primary screen. Okay. OBS on Mac, primary screen connected with Windows PC. I'm just confused on the setup there. So there's a way. I'm quite certain there is, but let's see. Let me break this down one more time. To present OBS output in the primary screen. Okay, OBS output in the primary screen. And then it says OBS on a Mac. And then it says primary screen is connected with a Windows PC. Ah, I think I got it. Okay. OBS is on the Mac. Okay, so you got OBS on your Mac. Hold on. I think I'm following you here. You got OBS on your Mac, and you got your primary screen connected to your Windows PC. Got it. So we got two computers, and usually you would draw this out. So we're going to draw it out in our head. We got two computers, and we want to get the OBS screen from one computer to the other computer, basically. Okay. Let's see. The primary screen connected with a Windows PC. OBS output. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's a couple of things to consider, and I'm gonna give you some of the tools that make it work, and then I want you to think through this with me. All right. And let me see if I can share my OBS screen here. You guys see how unorganized things are for me right now. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So I got my OBS screen here. Here's what you need to know. And I'm making sure I'm gonna read this right. So I'm gonna pull this over so I can see it pretty good. All right. So here's what you need to know. Any available way to present OBS output. Okay. So when you say primary screen, I'm thinking you're talking about your program screen. Okay. So any way to send this out, the best solution I would say is through NDI for all this. All this is going to work through NDI. Okay. And then to send a primary screen or a program out of OBS, you got some options. All right. So I can right click in here and I can open a projector of this. And you got this option that's called built-in retina display. That's my MacBook. I got the LG, which is the screen you guys are, well, you guys don't see my screen. Hold on, let me share my screen. That's kind of important. All right. Voila. Now we can see it. All right, sorry about that, you guys. That studio mode throws me off sometimes. But you guys can see me and my screen. Like so, all of this is OBS. Everything is OBS right now that you guys are looking at. This is my program window. This is my preview window, which is kind of cool. And this kind of gives me a dual screen setup. All right. But ultimately, on my program window, my primary output, I can right click on here. You can see this option that says I'll open a program projector, and I can select a way to send this out to a separate screen, and it'll just be boom on that screen. That's one thing. Okay. I don't necessarily need to do that, but that is really cool if you're trying to show something in OBS, like to like on Zoom or something like that. That's a really cool thing to do. The other cool thing you can do is you can do that on any of your scenes as well. So I can right click on this scene and I can open scene projector and just say I can put it here or put it in a new window, just a separate window all by itself. And that's the same thing I can do here. So I can right click on this and I can actually put it in a new separate window. All right. And it'll just be this program on just a separate window all by itself. That's pretty cool. Can be helpful, like I said, depending on the circumstances. But for what your setup is, I would say go into your tools at the top and go to distro AV NDI settings. So you got to make sure you download that and then set up your main output to be active. Okay, main output name, just call it whatever you want to call it. You might call it OBS Mac main or Mac program. And now it's going to be sent out over the network. Okay. So now that you have that, then you would go into your Windows computer, and then you can go into, I don't know what is your Windows computer running on, Eben Schraben, maybe I don't know how to say that, but what is your primary screen on? So I'm guessing FreeShow is in this mix somewhere, but I could be wrong. So tell me, where is FreeShow at in the mix of all this? And then what, like, so if let's say FreeShow is on your your Windows computer, okay? Because you said the primary screen is connected with a Windows PC, okay? I don't have I got my Windows PC, but I don't have enough desk space right now to do that. But what I can tell you is, let's go here. We'll go into FreeShow. In FreeShow, you can go to your show and then go into your screens here and then select the last option over here that says NDI, and it'll give you any NDI signal that's going out over the network. And over the network, I have, let's see here. Here's my OBS main right here. This is what you guys are seeing real time, and that's a screen that I can actually project onto here. Okay. It says free show has access to your screen. I don't know what that just said, but it popped up. All right. But that would be the way you would get it into free show. Okay. But you basically would need to have NDI. So you need distro AV, NDI, download it, and then you would just turn on your main output by checking that little box, and that will give you this main program output. Now, if you want to have the preview output, you can turn it on as well. That'll just give you the preview output as a separate output as well. You can do both, right? You can enable both of them, and that would be the way that you can do that if you're just trying to do it wirelessly. Okay. Present OBS output in primary screen. OBS is on the Mac, and then primary screen. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Now, the other thing, like I said, you can use that. You can use hardwire cables as well if you have like a switcher. If you got, I got an ATEM switcher over here. My ATEM, if I switch it right now, it'll go to a separate angle. So this is, like I said, I'm in the studio. I've been working on some stuff. So this is my separate side angle right there. But if I were to plug in my Mac computer into that Blackmagic device, and I right click in here and just make it be a separate window, Blackmagic would show up on this list. Okay, if I had it plugged into my Blackmagic device, I just don't have it plugged up right now. But if I did, I can make that be the case, and I would send it out through a signal there, and then my Windows computer will be plugged in to get the output of the Blackmagic ATEM, and it could be plugged in via USB-C, or it could be plugged in through the HDMI cable, right, from there. Um, well, I take that back. You wouldn't be able to plug a computer into that. You would need to plug it in through USB-C for sure to get that signal to come in. It'll basically be acting as a video capture card. So USB-C from, or USB from the ATEM, or from whatever video switcher you got, and then you would just switch to that scene where that's the OBS output is coming from. So there's a lot of options with it. That's why I say when you play it out in your head and you start drawing it out, I can think of a number of different ways to make it work, basically. And those are a couple of them that I would say that you can do. And that's some of the stuff I've been doing in my studio. Actually, I was using FreeShow as a teleprompter for me, and I had my stage view coming out. Actually, I just did a regular view. I didn't even do a stage view. Um, I put the script into a show, and I just made it be like, 4 lines per slide. And then I had that output go into my ATEM, and then I had a little yellow box, or just a little monitor. It's like a 10-inch monitor on top of my camera. And I just looked at the camera and read those particular lines, and I would just arrow through on my computer 1 line at a time. Okay. You could easily use that for, with the remote functionality to connect the remote connection for FreeShow as well. Okay. To control everything. Let's see here. Brian says, don't know how much space is in your studio, but could you have a second mini studio for things like Free Show Friday? Yeah, that would be cool. Like that's kind of, then it says permanent second studio. Yeah, no, I don't have room for a permanent second studio, only because I don't have, um, I say I don't have, um, I would need multiple desks for that to work well, and multiple more cameras. And I only have like a few cameras. I got maybe 3 cameras that I would use. And I would use those primarily over here for like video recording, for regular video recording, or I could just have a space for that separate, to where I just work from one workstation, because I got another desk over there, but I do that. I work over there during the day, and then I got another desk that's my personal desk. That was what I was using for everything free show related, and so that was kind of the main studio. But I'm using this setup. I'm making some courses and stuff like that, so you'll see this setup in some other things. All right. Okay. Ibn Shrabin says he'll try that, or they'll try that. Awesome. So yeah, permanent second studio. Man, look, I'm looking for donations. We want to set up my wife and I, we're looking to set up a studio, like a space to where we can set up a bunch of different spaces for people to come in and record podcasts and stuff like that. So Um, yeah, if you want to make a donation to that, I'd be more than happy to accept and set it up. But in this space, this is really just a small bedroom, and it works for what I need to do. But it's not as flexible as I like, only because I don't have a lot of space and equipment to set up multiple scenes at the same time. And it's also because we got another space that we use that's in my wife's office that has some lights and things like that set up. So we work with what we got. We make it work. Um, so I don't see any other questions. Let's see here. What can I do to use a Decklink Duo to output my presentation using FreeShow? Yeah. So we answered that one. That is something that's coming, my friend, with the Decklink Duos. Um, let's go back. Let me pull this down. Can't see past my microphone here. All right. Let me pull this back out the way. Let's go back into here. And we left off looking at some community questions. So we answered one community question. We ended up having to submit a ticket. YouTube videos were not playing properly. And I just said, are you sure the audio is for the video is not muted? And I don't know why. That's kind of misspelled, but that's all right. Let's see. Mr. Terry Ray says, when I opened FreeShow 156, it asked me to choose a profile. Then when I went to profiles in the settings, it gave me the choice to choose the last profile on restart. Yep. So we were talking about that last week. So he was able to come back through and verify that as well. And I was able to figure out it does do that pretty seamlessly, really well. On a Mac, it was probably a little bit more jumbled than it is on a Windows. Let's see. Shout out to you, Gary. Thanks for these tutorials, as information on free show like this can be tricky to come by. And they watched how to import files and Bibles in free show. If you guys need to understand how to do that, this video walks you through that. This video is all these videos. I have not made a new video all year in 2026. So everything that people have been watching has been from 2025, which is great. I've got some things in the works, obviously, with this setup and all that stuff. That's a part of the process, but those old videos are still very relevant. I say old, I call them old, but they're very relevant. Let's see here. Someone said, "You're doing a great job, bro. I love your videos. However, I'm thinking of moving on from vMix to Free Show, but then it can't live stream. That's my major problem. I already love everything about Free Show." All right. So what I would say is, I said thanks, obviously, and I said I recommend pairing Free Show with OBS for your live stream, and I still stand by that. My question to them was, "What's the biggest difference between vMix and or between yeah?" I said between Mix and OBS for you. I think I was on my phone and it spell checked it. Does anybody else use vMix? Please let me know. I want to hear what are some of the differences that you guys know of. I know that vMix only works on Windows, if I recall correctly. Let's see. Mark says, any idea if there is a red letter Bible set? You know, I don't know of any red letter Bibles that I know I don't carry any, but I saw a setting that said something about red letters, and I don't know where it was. Has anybody else seen that in Free Show? Let's see here. Bobby Manning 264 says, "Can you do a slideshow in Free Show with animation design and transitions like PowerPoint?" Um, yes and no. Technically, you can. It's going to vary. I would say that you can, but I don't recommend it only because that's just not my presentation style. But if that is your presentation style, you can go in here and I'll show you some of the options you have. Okay. Um, it's not as many as you would see in PowerPoint or even Keynote or something like that. If you want to do that, I'm trying to think of a simple way to export something out like that. Like you have to export it like as a video, if those things are super important. But I would say consider that you may not even need those things because they may be distracting. Okay. That's my default, is that I want everything to be as clear and simple at a glance as possible when you're dealing with live environments. Okay. If you're dealing with like a workspace, meeting room, conference room space or something like that environment, makes a lot of sense. No need to do anything special. But what I would say is consider that. Now, with that being said, transitions. Let's start there. In Free Show, in your settings up at the top right, you can go in and you can see your output. And on your output, I'm rotating my microphone just a bit. So I'm going to turn this just a bit, you guys. Hold on. Because it's blocking my view here. All right. And so you'll see an option for outputs. every output, I'm gonna go to my primary that's actually active right now. Every output has a style. Okay. It's a default style is what I'm got mine set to, but I can hit this little bar, this whole bar here, and it shows me all of my current options for styles that I have created. And I've only got three. I've got a default, a faded, and then a live training two. Okay. These are all, um, give me just a second. Uh, okay. But these are all different styles that I've created. These styles are what dictate just at a simple click. You can change your style and automatically adjust what your transitions are going to do and all that kind of stuff. So let's go into our styles. I'm going to close this out. And if you notice, you got your outputs here, but you got your styles right below it. So if I go to styles, you will see background color, default background color. If you clear your screen, if you clear all, this is what color is going to show up. I was talking with somebody this past week and they had an orange up here and they didn't want it there. They didn't know what was going on. And it was just, they just had this set to orange. All right. I keep mine at black and then background media. If you wanted to, you could add in a logo, a ministry logo or something like that. So you hit clear all, it just shows this default logo, right in the center. You can put it in the side or whatever it is, but you will format that like in a Canva or a PowerPoint or something like that and export it out as an image. And then you can have that be your default background, which is pretty cool. I love that idea. And then you got transition. This is where you can see the different transition options we got. So it lets you dictate text transitions, and this is for all of your slides. This is going over anything that goes on that output. This style will change what happens on it. And so you don't have to tie this to individual slides or shows. You literally just change your whole style, which is what I would recommend for a live environment in terms of a real time, in-house meeting. I would say do that. Um, if you want to spend a lot of time making a presentation, you can do that as well and make these transitions be on individual slides. I just don't recommend it because in a live environment, you probably want this to be consistent across the board for every show you do. And this is the best way to do that. Okay. And so you have options for your text in and your text out. For media, you got an option for media in and media out. And it's the same options. You got none, you got fade, blur, spin, scale, and slide. Okay. Seemingly very basic, but you also have your easing options in terms of how do they come in? Do they jump in, which adds another layer of complexity to it? Do they flow in really easy and smooth? Do they ease in, ease out? All these kind of things are options there. So you've got a lot of granular controls over that. Okay. This would be my first recommendation. You can go here and it doesn't break out anything. I've got them all broken out, but you also have the option for in between as well. I didn't say that, but you got your text in, out, and between, and then your media in and out. Okay. And you just pick which one of those. And they could all be different, okay? And they're just for me. This is personal opinion. It just makes things a little bit more busy, so you want to be mindful and careful of that. All right. So that's one thing. The other thing we talked about is you said about slide transitions, but also animations. So on an image, I'm gonna go to a different show here. Let me go to one that I don't use on a regular basis because I don't want to change that one. That's a Bible quiz. Let's do something. That's game shows. Schools, no, won't do that one. Let's do training test. Video replace test. Offline test show. I don't know what's in my test show. Okay, here we go. More info. I don't know what's in this. I'm gonna delete that. Don't want that. All right, but we got more info here. I can right click on this and I can say slide actions, and I got this option that says animate. Okay, you can right click. So I made a video a couple months back, and it was called "Deep Dive into Mastering Shows or Slides." I'm sorry, in Free Show, and I go in depth about this. But you can hit animate, and you'll see here you can change the text, the item, or the background. You can change the size, the line height, the letter spacing, the word spacing of the text. If I select item, you can change um, the the width, the height, the rotation, the opacity, the corner radius. So you got a, like I said, it's more of a granular control system as opposed to PowerPoint, which is more of a broad user base. This is literally for media leaders and media people, volunteers and all that stuff. But if, as a media leader, you would set this up. Okay, I wouldn't say you would have your volunteers doing a bunch of animations and stuff like that. That would need to be preset by you. But you got a lot of cool stuff here. Like you can change the opacity, which is cool. I never even saw the corner radius one. You can dictate how the corner radius goes on an item, and making it, shrink down or expand out or whatever and be pointy or around it, which is pretty cool. And then you would dictate how long it is, and you would dictate, let's see here, like it'll go to a certain point and then for a certain amount of time. And you could add and stack these together to where there's this cool animation where three or four different things are changing at the same time. So yes, animation is there, not as clear cut and user friendly in terms of for the masses as PowerPoint, but if you spend time with it, and you because like I said, this you got to really be serious about some animations and some transitions to do all these things. To me, and for me, they're just not that important. But for some of your presentations, it can be valuable. It can add some value. For most of the presentations I do, it just doesn't add much value, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there. Okay. And then once you add in something like that, you'll see the little animate icon up here on your slide. I'm gonna clear it out because I don't need that. But that's on just the main page. If you go to edit, I can right click on here and you got the option for item actions. You can do some reveals, right? That's kind of cool. And then you can do transitions here as well. So you get your transition options for this one particular item if you wanted to. Okay. And so it'll just give you the in, out, in between for that particular item. So you can do that. I would just say that the key is right click and you'll see some transition options. Right click and go to slide and slide actions. You'll see some animation options, and then you always will see your transitions on your styles. You'll see them on slides, on items. You'll even see transitions as an option here for just your general output. Okay. And it'll give you that same pop up menu. So, a lot of different ways you can do it, but not like PowerPoint. That's all I want to say. Brian says, for the folks at home, I watch Free Show Friday on my TV, but can't see the comments. So I read your comments on my phone and link to my TV. So I can control both on my phone. Just a handy tip. All right. So you said, let's see here. You watch Free Show Friday on your TV, but can't see the comments. So you read your comments on the phone and link the phone to your TV so you can control both on the phone. Handy tip. How are you linking your phone to your TV? And what are you doing? What kind of TV, Brian? You got to explain a little bit with that, my friend. I'm not gonna act like you just took it to the next level. I love that you're doing it. I don't know how you're doing it, so give us a little bit more feedback on that when you get time. Let's see here. vMix is a video production software, very flexible, and yes, Windows only. I think the use case for vMix and FreeShow is different. Do you think FreeShow would be a replacement for vMix? I don't think it would be a replacement. I think FreeShow with OBS is definitely a replacement. Okay. And that's me not knowing a lot about vMix. So I'm not trying to down what vMix can do. Um, but I would say that vMix is pretty powerful from what I've seen from others. I've just never used it personally. But at the same time, I think OBS is just as powerful if you're comfortable learning how to use it, right? I think vMix may be more user friendly than OBS at first glance. And so a lot of people are drawn to it, especially that have those Windows devices. But I haven't had a Windows device probably since I was in college. So it's been several years, okay, 20 plus years that I've not had a Windows device. And so what I would say is me using a Mac, I've never got exposed to vMix, right? But I have been exposed to OBS and it works the same on Windows and Mac. And that's something that I gravitate towards as a consultant is I want things that are going to be pretty flexible for potential clients and even any other user that I run into. And it saves me some time and energy to where I don't have to learn one thing for a certain type of computer and another thing for another type of computer. I can learn one system or setup and it works no matter who I run into. And so that's a big deal. So open source programs are really helpful for me in that sense. So that's what I love about Free Show. So I love about OBS as well. So that's just a personal note or side note to that. Okay. Um, let's see here. I think I got all those questions answered. Let me go back into the web. Let me see if any other comments came in this week. Somebody said doing a great job. Thank you so much, Zaza Media. This one, thanks GB Alfred from South Africa. This was in response to the church media hack. Expand your computer displays for more outputs in Free Show for just $99. You can expand it for any program, but this is a Free Show channel. So I literally have, let me see. I'm trying to grab it. I'm gonna do a free commercial here. Let me see. It may not make sense, but I got this device, right? This is mine that I personally bought myself. I love it because it does have 4 HDMI ports on it. It's called the, I don't know how to pronounce the company, Ori Split Extend USB 3.0 to Quad HDMI display adapter. It is a beast. I will say it has a USB-C port or just a regular USB. You can get this. Like I said, I would go to. I got a affiliate link for Amazon, but you also can go to Orion's website and get them as well. Okay, but on all of my videos, I don't know if my live streams will have a link to it, but you can go down there and see. You'll see the name Orion Split Extender, whatever it is, Split Extend USB 3.0. That gives me a little bit of kickback if you start from my channel. But like I said, I've seen it cheapest on Amazon. So even if you don't click from my link, you can still search on Amazon for this device, and it'll give you 4 USB ports on Windows or Mac. That's what I love about it, right? So my computer can support 2 separate displays. When I add this to it, it additionally adds, so basically it adds, I think it makes itself one display. Maybe not. I might be able to do 6. I never tried it. Maybe I think it just goes to 5, but I could be wrong because I think it treats this as one display. But it adds in, you download the plug-in, and then it gives you all these different outputs. 2 of them are HDMI, and then 2 of them are 4K. And so you got some options there. But usually I say HDMI. 2 of them are 1080, and then 2 are 4K. And so that's totally up to you which ones you use. I use all of them. I don't really discriminate between the two because it's very difficult to determine and discern on most people's devices, because most people are looking at a small device, or if you like Brian, you got a big screen TV and a phone connected to each other doing it big. Let me see if he said anything here. Let's see here. Mark says that's the best way to watch it. All right. Jim Lawyer says, question, another stage question. I have our service broken down. Let me see here. I'm just checking my audio levels. Okay. So another question, I have our service broken down into sections using slide text and next slide text. Okay. When on the last slide in the current section, the next slide does not show first slide in the next section. Yeah. That I would imagine is true. And let me see what I'm gonna show you guys what he's talking about here. So in free show, let me see if I got a test online video test. Bullets. Okay, I'm gonna just go to a meeting. Let's do this one. All right, so I'm gonna add in a section. So I'm gonna say new section, and I'm gonna call this one worship. And then I'm gonna make another one, and I'm gonna call this one scripture. All right, so I love adding sections, especially for traditional services. If you need that, I love to change the color of them as well. And so I'm gonna make this one be yellow, and I'm gonna make this one, just by right clicking, I can change the color, and I'm going to make this one be sky blue. All right. So I got worship section. Now, if yours are not showing up bold like that, the simple fix, or I say fix, it's not broken. It's just showing an outline of yellow. I like to see the bold color. Just go to your general settings and then select this option that says high contrast group colors. And it turns the groups like your chorus and verse and bridge and all that stuff. It makes those bold, but it also affects the section headers, which I love. Okay. So I got my scripture there. I'm gonna drag my song into here. And so I've got worship. I got that there. So I'm gonna go into this song, and I'm gonna go down to the last slide. And I got my text the same way. So my slide, my stage view looks like yours to some degree, I think. Oh, I got it set to do something different. Let me do something different. Let me go to my stage. I got an action on here. So any of my songs, they automatically change my stage. Oh man, it just shut down. I broke it. I broke it. I've never seen that happen before in terms of doing it from, because of, I don't even know what happened, what caused it, but there's a 157 beta coming up. Let me pull this back up. You guys, some of you guys have downloaded it. I haven't downloaded it yet, but there's a 157 beta. Let's see here. Bug fixes, tweaks. We're going to talk about that. I'm not even going to go into it yet. We'll talk about that. I'm still on 156. Let me see if I can recreate that issue. What was that? 12. Okay. And I'm gonna add my sections back in. Right click and I can say new section, call it worship. Let's see if that's a bug that I need to report. Oh, I don't want to do a new show. I want to do another section. So I right click new section. I'm just call it teaching for now. And I just right clicked and I changed those colors. One was yellow and one was blue. And then I just drag these items into it. So I drag my verses in there. I drag this into there. All right. Now I'm going to go into my stage layouts and I'm going to make this one, the one I use for worship, show. It's got some slide notes and some other things. I don't need all that. So I'm going to delete this stuff out and I'm going to change that color. That color is getting annoying. It was good for a meeting I had, the vision discussion meeting that I had for a meeting, but not necessary. This one, I don't even know what this is. Let's see if I go to items, will it tell me? Current slide text. Okay, so I got my current slide text. We want that. Okay. And pull it out. And I'm going to go back to items and I'm going to add in next slide text. All right, we got that. Boom. Now, for me, I went over here to this little carrot icon and changed my background color. I say carrot, I don't know what it's called, but up there and it opens up the options. But I'm going to change it back to black just because it's getting annoying. All right. And I'm going to save all this. And I'm going to go back to my show. And I'm going to go to Beautiful Savior. And you'll see here, I got my current slide yellow and then the next slide white. Okay. I'm in love with you. I'm in love. All right. Now, the issue is when we get to these last ones, when I go here, it doesn't show anything here. And I don't really know what the fix is for that, to be honest with you. Was that Jim that had that question? Does not show the first slide and the next. Yeah. Let me see though. Let me do something. I'm gonna arrow to the right. Even when I go to the next section, it doesn't do it either, huh? And when I go to my scriptures, it has a different setup. So the scriptures will show like this, with the current and all that. And that's just another test thing. That's not ideal. This is not pretty. This was for me to show you guys the breakdown earlier. So Jim, you could submit that as an enhancement. I wouldn't say anything is broke, but I see exactly what you mean. Like it'd be nice if it showed that. So no, I get it. I think that would be really cool, to show the next slide when we're on the last slide of a current show, right? So to show the next slide of the next show would make a lot of sense. I don't think it's designed to do that. And I'm like I said, from a coding perspective, there's probably a way. I just don't know what it is. But I would say submit that as an enhancement on the freeshow.app page and just hit that GitHub link. Okay, great question. Let's see here. M. Smith, Mr. Mark says, I have a Samsung Smart TV. Okay, so this is breakdown. Okay, sign into YouTube on that and then go to my phone, log in, and it asks me if I want to link to the TV. That's the thing. I never logged into YouTube on my TV. I think I'm too skeptical. I don't even know what it would do. And it's probably too because me and my wife have two separate accounts. So I don't want to see the stuff that she watches. She don't want to see the stuff that I watch. And so we don't have an account that we just log into this designed just for the TV, but we just watch mostly Amazon stuff, which is hilarious. Um, so it shows pause on my phone and then plays on the TV and comments are live on the phone. That is crazy. That's nice. I see you, Brian and Mark. I like that. I'm just not that advanced. I'm pretty basic. You guys will be surprised. Okay, so WWJK 102.9 FM says, yes, I will be purchasing that device. That is a game changer. I'm telling you, my friend, it is a game changer. Like I said, it's under $100 always. I've seen it go as low as $79 US. Okay, let's see here. Charles Stevenson. Hey, I'm guessing this is Pastor Charles. What's going on, Pastor Charles Stevenson? I1S. Yes, it is. It's good to see you on there. If that's you, look, me and Pastor Charles. Let me know if this is Pastor Charles from Louisiana. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let's see here. Brian says, M. Smith explained my tip. Yep, cool, cool. That's pretty cool, you guys. All right, Jim says, thanks. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't an easy fix. Yeah, I don't know of any fixes for that, with that carryover from one section to another, just because it's doing what it's supposed to do. And then there's no other, I don't think there's a dynamic value even. If there was one, that would be what you would look for, is some type of dynamic value that would say something about the section. So there's timers. Let me see. Let me go back up. Show name next, layout slides. Um, and then layout notes. That has something to do with the actual like show, the layout of that show. And then slide number, slide group next, slide notes next. That's fine. Um, timers. Yeah, there's nothing in here, I don't think. But you know what? These are all my own personal created ones. I think video transitions, title variables. Yeah. Okay. What I will say is this: in your show, and I'm guessing, yeah. Let's go back. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let me add in just a text box. All right. There may be a fix for this. Hold on. This is what we get to do on Free Show Friday. We get to think outside the box for everything related to free show, specifically mostly for churches. For those of you who are early birds on the US side, you can join me on in the free show in the lab on Monday mornings. We go in depth about everything free show that is including church meetings, but even outside that. So podcast discussions and all that kind of stuff, business events, and I'm working on some ideas for schools and things like that. So we kind of think out the box. And in the lab, I really try to break free show, to be honest with you. I literally just try different things and come up with ideas and I see if they work. And I do it live. Okay. So Free Show Friday is more of a question and answer time where we get to do a lot of Q&A and get some feedback from you guys. But in the lab with Free Show is me just having an idea. I might sleep on and wake up with something and say, I wonder if I can do that. And I'll reserve it for in the lab to try to do it on display with you guys and then go from there. All right, let me see something here. So in this, I just added a regular text box. If I right click on this text box and I got dynamic values, there's a lot of dynamic values. And if I go up here to the top right, there's even more. When you hit that little eyeball, and I'm looking here, so we got project section, those are there. Project section time next. So just the project section times, and then show. Wow, the full text of the show. I've never seen that. Have you guys ever seen this? The show text full? What? Never seen it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Um, let's see here. That would be where I would expect to see it, somewhere up here with this section stuff. That's time. This is show stuff. Uh, slide group next. Slide group upcoming. Let me go back out. Let me close this out. And let me see if I'm on the last slide. That's what I want to make sure of. Okay, I'm on the last slide. So I'm looking to see if there's going to show something that will reflect that last slide or the next slide. And I don't see anything yet on the dynamic values. The cool thing is they give you the preview, right? So I'm looking at these previews up here. These are just dashes. These are just blank zero numbers because I didn't put any time for those sections. So that's fine. That makes a lot of sense. That's image stuff, video stuff. Yeah, no, you're not wrong on that one, Jim. I don't see any options to allow you to see the next section show or the next show even, right? If well, I take that back. Does it do it with the shows if they were not in a different section? I haven't tested that out. Have you tested that out? Let's see here. I'm gonna go to songs and I'm gonna bring in another song. Let's do uh, Firm Foundation. Amazing Grace had a lot of text to it, so I'm trying to make something that's more realistic. All right, so I got Firm Foundation. All right. If I go to here, all right, I give you worship. Yep, even for the next song, it does the same thing. But when I go arrow to the right and arrow to the right, then it comes here, right? And so um, they're separate. So even it's really more of a matter of the next show. It just doesn't show the next show item showing up there. So that would kind of be the request. Let's see here. Smith explain. Okay, thanks. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't. Yep, got you. WW. Okay, is there a conditional something to show the first slide of the next if you're at the end of the current section? Oh, like a condition. Um, I think I see what you're saying, but that would be kind of hard to determine. Let me see. I'm gonna go here, and I would go to select that, and we'll go to edit. If we go right click on this and go to conditions, these are designed to say show the item if, and it just shows some options here. If there's a, so if dynamic value is, and you can do that, but I don't have a dynamic value. If there's a variable, you could do that, the timer or the text. I I don't know if there's a conditional statement that you can use that would make sense with that either. But I see what you're saying. I like where you're thinking. I would say more. It would be more of a not dynamic. Oh, yeah, a dynamic value option. But I didn't see a dynamic value for it either. That's what I was looking at first. Let's see. Slide group upcoming seems like it possibly could. Slide group upcoming. Let's see if that does it because that would be. Let's see here. I'm gonna go here. Is it even an option in here? Slide groups. So under show, here we go. Slide group next. So if I select that and I go, so we got course one is what's next. Let me see if I even got a lot of stuff on this. Yeah, I got course one, verse one. Okay. So I'm here. Okay. So it's just showing from one slide to the next on the show, the current show. And I'm gonna go back here. This one has a bunch of stuff, verses and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go into here. We see verse three. I'm looking on the right side there. Okay, verse three. Probably should put a box around that. And let's see if it jumps. So tag two is coming up next. Verse four is coming up. Verse four, verse four. Nope, it's still blank. When you get to that last slide on the show, it's kind of isolated from one show to the next. Okay. So yeah, great ideas though. Like I said, that's what we're here for. We're here to come up with ideas that make sense for what we need. And if that's something that you need, Jim, I would definitely put in a ticket for it and just call it an enhancement. That's what it is basically. I wouldn't call it a bug. You can, I guess, but they would probably say, "Hey, this is an enhancement because it's not broke." I would, I would probably agree with them on that. So definitely check it out in that way, from that standpoint. Let me see. Where's my other slides? Okay, here we go. Other pages. If I go back here, so this is all good. This somebody said, "Thank you. Yeah, this really helped." And they were talking about the import video as well. I think somebody else said something about the import video today. Did I make that up? This is import files and Bible. Okay, this is a different video. Import Bibles and templates. Okay. Cool. I think this one's a little bit newer, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So big shout out to Shobo Walamach Well Micah. Shobo Well Michael, maybe. And then this friend here, I had to translate this, and I don't think it's translated here. But I think they said this is really helping them learn how to use FreeShow, if I remember correctly. So big shout out to Christianaries 7695 as well. And then Alfred Auto Productions in South Africa. Big shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys leaving comments. Please make sure to comment on any videos with any questions you might have or anything like that. Now let's jump into this free show update that we got, and I'm gonna wrap up with you guys. I got to go to another meeting here in a little while for lunch. So under the downloads on the right, we got 156. This is the last solid download. So we actually are in the beta phase right now with the next one. So it's not a big change, but it is some changes that have happened. So this one says a pre-release of beta 1 available might have breaking changes, but has more features and should be more stable. Oh, breaking changes. I'm not sure what that means. The breaking changes. Maybe good changes? Oh my goodness. They've added time code. Oh my goodness. Timeline and time code? Come on. This is crazy, y'all. Okay. I don't know what timeline is yet. I got to figure that out. I might download this right now. And then time code, that's something that has to do with syncing cameras and all kind of stuff together. And then we got tweaks, updated the context menu UI. Audio files should be auto-located. Yeah, we download this today. Okay. And then NDI 6.3.0, updated languages, more tweaks. Has anybody used any of that stuff on 157 beta? Talk to me. This is crazy. Okay. Bug fixes, auto size fixes. That's good. Fixed extra spacing. Fix stage display not next scripture text not working. Okay, that was one I remember seeing in the bugs. And then fixed add folder missing. That was something that I submitted actually. I was like, this is messed up, and they were like, oh, it works. It's just not where you expected it to be. And then scripture fixes, and then more smaller fixes. Yeah. Listen, we got to do this today. Let's get in. I got like 20 minutes. I'm jumping in. We're jumping into this right now. Y'all gonna see this real time. All right. So free show ARM 64. This is the one that I typically use. I'm just making sure. All right. So I'm downloading that right now because I want to see the timeline feature and the time code feature. I have no clue where to find them, no clue how to fix them or anything like that. So I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna figure it out right now, but we're gonna go in. This is like going in the lab with me. So this is what it's like in the lab. All right, so I'm gonna close this out so I can open it back up. And let's go here. Let me see if I got any messages about this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't have. So he may have posted something on Facebook with the beta details. I didn't see anything. I haven't. I don't usually get on Facebook that much, so that's on me. But let me go to my downloads real quick. I'm just gonna open up the download. Who's using 157? Who's using 157 to date? All right, so I'm about to drag it in. This is 157 beta, and note that this I'm gonna just go ahead and replace it. I always do replace. I could keep both, but I can just always go back and get the other one. I'll do a replace. For what I do typically, I'm not using FreeShow in a live church environment all the time like you guys may be doing. So I would be very careful not to download betas. If I was in a live church environment, I would just keep both. I would run the solid, and then I would have the beta as a separate download. And they would share files, but one would be more stable than the other typically. Okay, that's what you usually expect with a beta. All right, and that goes without saying to you guys, but I want to make sure that's clear. I'm gonna go ahead and open up FreeShow again, and let's see what we get here. So we're looking for time code. I'm gonna see if I can figure it out, and then timelines. And I've seen timelines in ProPresenter. And I know somebody asked a question about ProPresenter earlier. Who was that? Yeah, I know Jim said you on 157. Did you test out any of this new stuff? Let me see what if somebody had a question about ProPresenter. Let's see, PowerPoint. Okay, so Gorillin MJ 8530. If you're still on with us, let me know. Do you do anything with timelines in ProPresenter? I'll just pick a random show here. Let me see where I would expect the timeline at. Override style output. I'm just looking at ideas here where I would expect it. Like I'm looking for the option for recording, but I don't see that in here anywhere. Maybe I gotta select it. I don't know. Let's see. I don't see anything. Um, see groups, media, metadata, notes. I don't see the recording option anymore, but my guess is that it got replaced with the timeline feature. How will we get to it? I'm just looking at the settings. Let's see here. This all looks familiar. Styles, I wouldn't expect it there. Files, that looks fine. Theme, that looks fine. Other updates, yep, no, nothing there. Where we go to edit. All right, I don't see any of that there. All right, that's cool. Let me go to audio. Let me see if there's a time code feature in here. I see audio. I don't see time code in here. Yeah, I'm super excited, but I have no clue, you guys. Anybody can help me out. I see cameras, online screens. I see app folders there. That's fine. That's good. Show, new category. That's cool. New show. Where would I find timelines and what was the other option? We talked about time code. I don't see that anywhere. Nothing to right click in there. I would expect it to be. Let's see. Let me see if we got somebody maybe said something. Let's see here. Brian says, I know you are busy, but could you create a video with tips and tricks offered by the Hive for Free Show Friday? That is hilarious, Brian. I had to figure that out because y'all got tips and tricks that ain't got nothing to do with what I can support in terms of how I can make that work. But I love that idea, like what you're talking about, even with the YouTube thing. Um, yeah, I would have to figure out how I would even record and capture that. That's the hard part for me. Like I said, because it's just me. If I had a crew, it would not be that hard. You know, if I had somebody following me around with a camera, I guess it wouldn't be that hard. But I don't. It's just me. So I ain't gonna act like I can do everything y'all do because y'all got a lot going on. Y'all doing the most in a good way, which is pretty cool. I just don't have the resources to always be able to support all of that, which is pretty cool though, still that you guys are able to do it. Oh, I didn't know there was an option to sort. What are we doing? Okay, name descending. Uh they created, they modified. Did y'all know that was there? I didn't know. But I don't see an option for it. I don't see. Let me see. Let's go to stage. I see the output window. That's good. That's not new. Metronome, clock, camera. Nothing new here. Let's see here. Man, oh man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew you guys. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Iconic 001. Could you explain how the new cloud sync works? Yes, I'm actually writing out the script for that now. I wanted to see if there's going to be any changes here on this latest version, and I don't know if they changed. I don't think they did any changes to the sync. So that's cool. Yeah, I can definitely walk you through it here real quick today, but also there'll be a video coming out that will probably feature me sitting in this space. We'll see. Let's see. If we go to your settings, this is for the cloud sync feature. The new cloud sync feature, I believe it's available in 1.5.6 and later. Okay. If we go over to the files section in the settings, all right. Right now, I got an option here. It says cloud and it says connect to church apps. Right. The cool thing is the very first step you have to take is not actually in FreeShow. You need to take a step into here, and I'm gonna go to here and I'll type in B1 church. B1, I think it's dot church. Boom. So this is where you want to start at B1 dot church. I'll put a link to that for you guys because it's literally spelled out as the number one. All right. And that may not be as intuitive. Let's see here. Oh, it didn't. Oh, it didn't paste it. Hold on. It may not let me. Let me see. Nope. All right, let me try it here. Hold on. All right, I can't paste it in OBS, but I can paste it in my live feed. Okay. So that's where you would need to start. And then it's going to ask you. So this is a free account. It's not anything I say special. It's super cool. But it's the primary reason that this audience on Free Show would be using this is to get access to Free Show. This program, this setup, this access is far more than just using Free Show. I will say this is a full church solution, right? A lot of you guys may be paying for some type of support to manage your check-ins and all that kind of stuff, and teams and groups and meetings and organizing. Like you might be paying for something like Planning Center. This replaces that. Okay, it is a full service setup, so it's 100% free forever. It's a modern platform ministry, and it is a non-profit. All right. Um, get started for free and then see how it works. You can pick from either one of those. If I scroll down here, you'll see that it literally has room for you to have your own church app built in, right? Build deep relationships through groups, discussions, and all that good stuff. So people can go to this site in terms of your church setup, and they can look at it like it's an app and see small groups, direct messages, member directories, discussion forums, all kinds of cool stuff, which it's just unreal. Unreal that all that stuff is built into this. Okay, so this is what you're getting into, but you don't have to experience all this right away. So you can just kind of glance over this, but I want you to know when you sign up for this, you don't have to use all this, but it is so rich in features, right? So it gives you options here. You can literally have your digital church hub. So all of your videos that you guys record or put on YouTube, you can have those built in to this app as well. Okay. Um, And then here you can do online giving as well. And all this stuff is free, which is crazy. So secure donations uh, via credit or bank with recurring options and fund specific giving, no fees from B1, and then direct Stripe integration. All right. So you might have a Stripe fee, but there's no fee to maintain the program, right? You just have the transaction fee through Stripe. And then church check-in, I told you guys about that a little while ago. But if I was starting a church, this is what I would go with. I would start with this program and I would just master how it works and how to use it. And I will likely be making some videos about how to use it. I just have not started into it yet, um, mostly just because it's unfamiliar to me in that way. But you hit get started. All right. When you hit get started, it's going to say, hey, please sign in. And if you haven't, you would just register. So you hit register here and you put in your first name, your email, all that stuff, and you will register an account. But what I would say is, I believe there's actually an admin. Let's do admin. Dot, I think it's B1. B1 church. I can't remember. B1 dot church. Okay, yeah. So you can register here. So it says please sign in. You will register a church, basically. So you put your church name in there. It does not interfere with anything that your church already has going on. You may not be the one to dictate whether they start switching over to a whole new system. This won't have any impact on if you guys are currently using a system, but they definitely can. Okay. So once you do set that up, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. I think I got a couple different accounts. I'm gonna go to add. So I got that one, and then my password. So then it pops up and says, "Okay, is this your church?" And it lets you select a church or pick any other church. This is the church I set up, Kingdom ETC. This is a ministry me and my wife have been part of and started a while back. So I'll select that, and you'll see here we've got the B1 Church dashboard. I got Free Show Friday, and I got Gary, that's me, and then I got GH6 Panasonic, that's me as well. All right. This is the admin side. All right. But when you're setting this up, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to this option that says serving. And let's see here. I'm not in as admin. I'm just in the B1 dashboard. It's all the same. But my admin account is different than this one. So this is more of a user perspective. Okay. So let me try to come out of this and see if I can log back in as something different. Let's see if I do Gary B. Jr. And yep, pick my church. All right, and let's see if I get my dashboard. Yep, so this is my admin user. So you'll see there's a lot more options down here. And this one here for serving. This is where you want to go if you're setting this up for free show specifically, or at least getting started with free show, right? And so you'll see here, I've got a bunch of people in FS Learning or Free Show Learning, and I've got just 2 people in Free Show Friday, okay? Just me and me, all right? If I click on this, you'll see the email is here is MYG Consulting for the Panasonic, and then this one is Kingdom ETC. So you have to have some people in a group. So I've actually, let me go back to my serving. So that's not a group, it's a team. So I go to serving and then you select over here a new team, a serving team. And serving teams are people that are behind the scenes. All right. Groups are people that are meeting together and seeing each other face to face, right? Like a small group meeting or something like that, or a men's group or women's group. There are participants. The teams are like the staff or the volunteers that work behind the scenes. Okay. So you want to make a team because they're going to be the ones using the computers and things like that. And so you manage that, add a team, add people to the team, and based on email accounts. It could just be you on that team. That's fine. It could just be you. That's completely fine because you can sync up between computers and log in with the same account on each of the computers. It just sync everything up. Now, once you do that, I've got my account set up. I'm gonna go back into Free Show and I say connect to church apps. And then it says, okay, authorization required. And it says allow. I'm gonna just say allow. So it's saying, hey, do you want to allow B1 Church and Free Show to talk, basically? And I'll say allow. And it says success. You can close the page. So I'll close that. And I'm going to go back into Free Show. It says no teams were found in your account. Get added to a team. Create a B1. I didn't even put my email in there, so I don't know which account it did. If I hit change team, it didn't give me a pop-up here. Let me see. I might have to do it on the incognito window or something so I can get it to pop up. Read only, Free Show. Oh, here we go. So it's showing enable sync free show Friday, or free show learning, I'm sorry, but I don't see the option. Let me go back over here real quick. I'm gonna go to clear my cache, delete browsing data. We'll say the last 7 days. That'd probably be the safest. So it won't have that cached. If you guys know a better way to do that, let me know. But I just do that. And now if I go in and I will disconnect, and then I can connect to church apps. This is what I'm looking for. So I can see an email account here. So now I can put in this email account and I'll put in my password. This is the user. This is a part of that team. Okay. And I'll select sign in, and it lets me pick the church. And now it's asking the same thing. You want free show and B1 church to talk? Absolutely. Say allow. Says you can close it. I'm just slide over, and then you'll get greeted with those 2 teams that I'm a part of. And you just pick which one you want. So you can say sync with Free Show Friday or sync with Free Show Learning. And they all, mine's all say Free Show. That's just me. You can call yours whatever you want to. All right. Now that you got that, you can I'll select that one. And then it gives you some more options. Now it says there's existing data in the cloud, because I've tested this out. I've been working on it. Like I said, this will be coming soon in a more full-fledged way. Once you get here, you get to pick which one you want to do, and it's going to be dependent on the computer that you're on. All right. This is very specific to the computer that you're on. For many of you, if you're getting started with it, it won't be a big deal. Okay. All you're going to do is just say, upload or merge. Like I said, I would say upload from the jump. And then it says replace cloud data with local data initially and merge normally afterwards. That's fine. But for me right now, I can do merge. I can do where it says keep the latest changes from both the local and the cloud data, to where it automatically merge everything, and I don't lose anything on this computer, but the cloud gets extra stuff. And if there's something that's been added to the cloud, I get that extra stuff on this computer as well. Okay. That's the most typical one, right? To where if you're working from home on another computer and you want to go to church and have everything on that computer, it would be simple to just go there and do this. Okay. You can do read only. Now, for me, the read only is what I would set up if I was going to a church computer. I just wanted to merge cloud data with my local data, but never upload those changes to the cloud. Okay. Because if I'm primarily working on my computer at home to create my shows, and I just wanted to show up at the church computer, I want my church computer to just get that, to download, to read it only, and never upload anything, any changes that are made or whatever. I don't necessarily need it on my personal computer, because my personal computer, I'm not using it at the church, in terms of it's just there to help me have time, to save time and convenience, right? And then if you want, you can just do the upload option, to where you're uploading the content on your computer, and it will replace whatever's on the cloud. Really cool option, but you got to understand that it's going to replace what's on the cloud. So it's gone, right? Everything that's on the cloud is going to be gone. And now you got the new stuff set up for what's going to be the main content on the cloud that everything else is going to sync with. Okay. And then you got this other one that just says download. And this was the opposite of the upload, where it replaces the cloud data. The download replaces your local data with the stuff that's on the cloud. Okay. So for me, I'm going to select this option that says merge for now. This is my main computer, so I don't want it to replace or do anything special. It's just going to do that. Now I can see down here, I hit this little arrow down. I can change teams if I want to. And the teams um, can be helpful. If I say change team and I go to Free Show Friday, it gives me the same options. In Free Show Friday, I may just want to um, download, okay, from here. But I don't, maybe not even that. I would just say read only, merge cloud data with the local data, but I don't want it to be um, sending any information up for that one, right? Because you could be a part of multiple teams. You can get all the data from all the teams if you're a part of those teams, but you don't have to upload data to where it crosses over in that way from multiple teams, which is really, really cool. Okay. So you can manage a lot of different workstations from home on one computer, and all you do is keep changing your team and then add the data to it. Now, the hard part about that to me is it would be kind of difficult to add local data in a different way from one computer. So I take that back. The really cool thing about it to me is that you will be able to download certain components, and I think this is what I've been working on in terms of my write up, is for the training video, is that this tool merged with the profiles tool is pure gold. Okay, it's going to be pure gold. Okay, where you can do a lot of cool stuff. So I'm gonna cancel that, and I'll enable sync, and it's just asking me which one. I want to be able to change teams though, so I can't actually change teams unless I disconnect, I think. Let me see if I go back. Yeah, no, it'll let me log back in. All right. And so that's the basics of how the syncing feature works from a basic syncing of metadata or data from FreeShow. If you want to sync the media, okay, because this does not store your media content. It does not store your video files, your images, and your background transitions, not transitions, but motion backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. You have to do that separate, but it's built into the setup there. So if I go back in here and I'll log back in as Gary. And I'll sign in. I'm doing all this from one computer. When I do the video, it'll be multiple computers. And this works on Windows and Mac the same way. So I'll select FreeShow Learning. I'm going to select Merge. When I hit this drop down, though, you got this option to turn on read only on the fly if you want to. I got the media sync folder activated. And what that does, if I hover over it, it'll tell you, it said, hey, copy all your used media files continuously into one shared folder. And then any custom sync provider can be pointed to that folder. So basically what FreeShow is doing now is anytime I add media to my shows, it automatically goes into the same folder altogether. And it's this folder here on my computer. So now if I want that folder to be different, if I want it to be like a Google Docs folder or something like that, I can click here and I can say I want it to be on my Google Drive. And I think I made one here. Let me see on my drive. I got media right there. Okay. So I got my media folder here. This is all the stuff from FreeShow. So I can say open. Now, every time I add something to FreeShow in one of my shows, it's going to automatically be stored on my Google Cloud Drive. And what that will do is you can go to any other computer and make sure they have access to that same drive. And now your media, your videos, your images, your motion graphic backgrounds and all that kind of stuff will all sync along with the actual show titles, your overlays and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's a really, really, really cool, solid feature. Kudos to the FreeShow team and the Church Apps team. They really put their mind meld. They put a lot of stuff together to make that work. So that is a really, really cool option. All right. Let's see here. Jim Lawyer says timeline. Go to project and expand, and you will see the timeline. Uh-oh. All right, let me see. Shows project. Oh, if I go to a project, and you said hit three dots. Let's see, a project and expand the. Mm, go to project and expand the three lines. You'll see the timeline. All right, so I'm gonna go to a project. Oh, right here. Oh, snap. Now, what does it do? What does the timeline do? This is what the folks that use FreeShow, I mean, to use ProPresenter can tell me. I don't even know what the timeline does. I just thought it was cool. Thank you so much, Jim. That makes a lot of sense. All right, so I'm gonna go to an actual show that may have more in it. I don't have a lot of shows that do a lot of stuff on this computer. Click on one of your projects. Yep, yep, yep. Let's do. This is FreeShow Friday. That's not. So if I hit play, let's see. Does this do something here? I'll start time. Time code is right there as well. What? What? All right. Send, receive. Oh my goodness. Custom audio output. Audio. Yep, yep, yep. Offset. Ooh wee. I don't know what this does though. Let me see. Reset zoom. Oh, actions show audio. Okay. I'm gonna try this out, y'all. Let's see. So if I start this here, it doesn't. I got a lot of actions up here, but do I have to add them on to the timeline to do it? Let me see. Let me stop this. I'm gonna say clear all. And that kind of brought the timeline back to here. Okay. So I'm gonna go to one that is not that important for me. Okay. Crazy fade. Okay. Let's go to what's this? All these are the same thing. What did I do? Okay, that was from last week. I remember that. Let's see what this is. That's from there. All right. Here's where I'm lost. All right, so oh, I got a timer going. I'm gonna stop the timer. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into this together. I'm gonna figure this out. So timeline start. I guess my question. Let me see if I can add in an action on here somewhere. If I say it 30 seconds, I just want to see some of that. OMG. Okay, so that's there. Okay, let's see. Gratitude. Can that go in here too? Okay. All right. So if I go here and I hit play, let's see what happens. It changed it. Oh wow. Okay. All right. All right, free show. I see y'all stepping it up. That's crazy cool. Free show is crazy. It's getting serious. So we have now added time codes and a timeline. I've never used a timeline before in my life before today. I played with it and seen it. Don't get it wrong. I have played with it and seen it, but I didn't. I never used it for real. And so that is crazy. And so you're just dragging. Oh, look, this is the first glance at least. You're just dragging items in. So I can drag this in here. I can move that wherever I want it to be. Man, can I duplicate it? No, delete. Let me see if I can option drag it. Yep, you can do multiples of it. OMG. So now if I go here and press spacebar to play it, it does the sound effect. Yeah, well, that's, I don't even know what to say with this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know how to integrate it into my show, but I see that it works, and I guess I just got to play with it a little bit more and do some studying on what it looks like in ProPresenter, how it works. But in the meantime, I got to get going, you guys. Thank you all so much for your patience. Look, let me switch over to here. Thank you guys for your patience jumping in on this with me today on Free Show Friday in our makeshift studio. Hopefully, it's something that is you'll see a little bit more of some adjustments. I know Brian has some really good feedback and ideas. He's watching it, kick back, relaxing on his probably on his couch or something like that on this big TV. So hopefully, I don't look too bad on the screen there, my man. But yeah, this is really cool stuff, you guys. Free Show is continuing to make strides, and I'm really not gonna act like I understand how all this stuff works, but it is crazy, crazy cool that it can do that timeline feature. I'm just looking at that now, toggle timeline. I can turn it on and off. What are we doing right now? That is crazy, you guys. And then the time code feature along with that is really, really sweet. Um, I don't see how it lets you like pick a certain. I guess. Oh, this is how you zoom in. Okay. Yep, I see it now. You can click frame by frame. Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. But I say all that to say that yeah, it's getting serious. It's getting real serious. So if you're a beginner user of Free Show, check out any of my videos that I've made in the past year. I think you're gonna love it. You're gonna find a lot of value in that. If you're an advanced user switching over, like I said, a lot of people are gonna start switching from ProPresenter into Free Show. These are some of those features that they're gonna be looking for with the time code, with deck link support, hopefully coming soon as well. The timeline, all those kind of features are gonna be coming in, and so yeah, it's gonna get real serious. And praise you guys have a blessed rest of the day, a great weekend, and I look forward to talking with you soon. All right, let me see here. I don't know if I can even do my outro, you guys, because I don't have my my piece. Let me see. I don't have my actions open. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me try one more thing because my bit focus wasn't working. So this is me stalling. Let me see if I can get my outro to play. Nope. All right, that's it. So I'm gonna end the stream here. You guys have, let's see, sir, how to create a down layered lyrics template for OBS stream. Uh, like a, lower thirds is what I'm thinking you're talking about. This is Zhao San. And then Iconic says, thank you. Love the videos. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Gary and Will. We got a question from Zhao San. Let me see if I can answer your question real quick, my friend. First, let me do this. Actually, what I'll do is I'm gonna show you real quick. So lower thirds, there's a video about that somewhere. Let me see. Uh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And Your channel. All right, so I'm gonna go here. Let's do a search. All right, so lower thirds. I gotta do better at that. Okay, so set up and manage lower thirds. This one came out just 6 months ago. This will be, it looks like the latest one. But let me see if there's anything else that makes sense. There's a lot of different options here, like how to use them in OBS, add pictures in the live stream. So I would say this one will be the best one to get started with. And I'm going to say share, copy, and I'm gonna send this to you in the chat. All right. Verify it's you. Uh-oh. I guess I'm getting kicked out of here. Let me try getting in real quick. All right, hold on. It's making me check my phone. Let me do something here. All right. Now I should be able to paste this in there. Let me say let's see. Try that link out. Start there. And then if you have questions about it, make a post, a comment on that particular page, on that particular video, and I'll be happy to help you out with any other questions. And then you might see it in the lab or in the next Free Show Friday. All right. All right, you guys have a great rest of the day.